Good morning. You need to do that again.
Good morning, God.
Good morning.
There we go. I'm so grateful to be in this moment, staring out at you and seeing the best part of myself reflecting back at me. So grateful. I know that this day, today, is a magnificent day. As I open myself up to even greater ways. I open myself up into even greater ways than I've ever known before. I allow Spirit, God, creative intelligence to just use me, to flow in and through me. And I know that absolutely everything that needs to be said is said. And everything that needs to be heard is heard, and everything that needs to be felt is felt. Today, there is only light. Today, there is only light. So let me ask you, are you ready for the light? I am. We are in this time right now where the days have been getting shorter and the nights longer, and we are living in this cold, expressionless environment. But today is a glorious day. I can't believe how blessed I am to be giving the talk today, on December 21st, winter solstice. Today, for the past few decades of my life, has been a very significant and magical and defining time. It is a time where people gather to celebrate the light, to celebrate, well, in the northern hemisphere, we celebrate winter solstice. It is to mark the time of year for the longest night. And it is a time of reflection and inner journeying and a celebration of all the amazing things that we've accomplished throughout this past year. For centuries, winter solstice has included eating, drinking, and being merry. Sound like any other holiday that's coming up? So this time of year, a lot of traditions come up, and I would like to thank the pagans for them. So there's caroling. Caroling has been a tradition for eons, that people would go out and sing and drink to the wealth and health and well-being of their community by going out and singing and caroling to their neighbors. The mistletoe. The mistletoe is a signature of a fertility rite that happened at this time of year that honored the sun god Saturn in Roman times, and in the Norse tradition would honor Freya, the goddess of love. Today, mistletoes are now a widely acceptable way of getting to first base on Christmas. We can't forget all the mythical beings throughout history that have delivered gifts this time of year. In the pre-Christian era, the Dutch called him Sinterklaas. And in the Norse tradition, Odin would fly around on a magic horse, blessing or cursing people. Odin's naughty or nice list. The list continues from decking the halls to hanging ornaments on trees. But let's take a moment right now to be grateful for that amazing tradition that is present in our time. Are you ready for it? The fruitcake. The fruitcake has been around as long as the pyramids have and will probably outlive most of us. They say that the fruitcake is stuff of legends, mostly because it will live longer than the pyramids. So fruitcakes, the legend is that they would magically appear in cupboards and in pantries for people who had unexpected company show up, or in times of famine throughout the winter months. And this is a valuable and important winter treasure. But we think of fruitcakes now and go, oh geez, thanks, you shouldn't have. So here we are today. Today is a very important time in my spiritual journey. The darkest night. We've all had those darkest nights. Tonight we are honoring that idea with our Taizé meditation, an inward journey to contemplate and deepen the self. And for me, well, I am charged up because today signifies a 2-week experiment for me. And I've been doing this for years and years. Today marks that time for me to journey inward, to look at my experience this past year. What have I learned? How have I grown? What have I accomplished? And it is also a time where I get to look forward into 2015, a brand new baby year, a brand new year that hasn't even met me yet. How exciting is that? A year that is filled with rich potential, opportunities for growth, empowerment, opportunities for new love, new joy, new friends, new light. I am pumped. I get to wake up tomorrow morning and the days are starting to get longer. The days slowly grow and expand in their light, just as we grow and expand every day into our own experience of light. And finally, relief settles in that the darkness is slipping away. Once light is introduced into darkness, the darkness is forever changed. This day is a symbol for something, a way to mark the path. We are at a time of year where there's more darkness than light, in a very physical, outwardly expression. And what does this mean for us as we do our spiritual work on the inside of us? Have we let the darkness seep in? Winter can be harsh on us. All this darkness, all this cold. Sometimes it feels like it's never going to end. And for some, it doesn't. Sometimes we forget the true source of our light, our warmth. I had times like these. I know from experience that I'm not alone. The darkness sometimes seeps in through the cracks the ice makes on the spirit. I think that maybe we should have one of those advent calendars that measure out till spring. You know, the kind that you open and you get a chocolate. I think that would really lighten up our spirits until spring. And I know that I say this a lot. Oh, wrong word. I know that I say this a lot. That if we did not have darkness, we would not know light. Francis Bacon wrote, "In order for the light to shine so brightly, the darkness must be present. Turn your face to the sun, and the shadows fall behind you." It's a Maori proverb. In God there is no dark. So if we are perceiving darkness on the inside of us, that part of us that is pure spirit, that part of us that is inseparable and indivisible from the source of that thing that created absolutely everything, and therefore us, that darkness is an illusion. It is a misunderstanding, a misconception, and a fallacy of the truth of who it is we really are and what we are really made of. We are forgetting that we are light. Light was the first thing ever created. And it was created by the one power and divine creative energy that created absolutely everything. I'm pretty firm on my belief here. I believe that there is God and absolutely nothing else. I believe that there is one power, one presence that is back of absolutely everything. And I believe that I am that. There is nothing and no thing that doesn't contain that same stuff, that same energy, that same light that stars have, that moves in and around galaxies. We are all stardust and water. It has been scientifically proven. Thanks to Google, we all can know that. So they call it quantum physics. I call it God. They call it energy. I call it spirit. And we both agree that there is a creative intelligence that moves and flows and is within everything, period. Yay me, I have just turned myself into a fundamentalist new thoughter. So using this logical thinking, if this infinite source created light before anything else, and it could only use itself to create light, then it is also light. And if infinite source created light and absolutely everything of itself, and here I stand having been created, am I not also light? I'm sure that makes completely perfect sense in my head. If it doesn't make sense outside of me. The darkness is only here so that we can see the light, so that we can find the path. Without the external darkness, the light would not know how to shine. Ernest Holmes wrote, "As the inner light dawns, it delivers the outer light from bondage." All those moments of uncomfortableness, uneasiness, unsettledness that finds physical locations to plant itself within my person are all opportunities of growth for personal and spiritual evolvement. When we let go of fear, when we let go of everything that doesn't serve the highest and best of who we are, whenever we move through something that seems difficult, on the other side of those experiences, don't we feel lighter? When we've accomplished something, when we've realized that potential, when we move through that thing that was holding us down or making us feel heavy, I feel lighter when I've finished with that. And so now I'm finished with the darkness. As we move into this new time of light and inner development, inner growth, we get to take these next few months to just dive in and become and to learn and to plant the seeds that are going to be harvested in the spring. Now is the time to do this work. And it is because we feel lighter because we have turned on that inner light. We've turned on and dissolved the darkness. It is because we acknowledge within ourselves that true essence, that true light, that expression of that divine light is moving itself through our lives, through our experience. Pope Francis, I love this guy. He said, "From my point of view, God is the light that illuminates the darkness, even if it does not dissolve it. And a spark of that divine light is within each of us." We have a seed of light that is within us, perfectly placed, divinely created. And that seed is infinite and endless and bottled at the source. So today, as the darkness begins to shed, I say to you, remember the light. Rejoice and celebrate that divine spark that is within you. Celebrate and take stock in all that you've accomplished this year. You are not the same person today you were a year ago. You are beautiful. You are magnificent. You are radiant light. Felix Adler said, "The hero is the one who kindles a great light in the world, who sets up blazing torches in the dark streets of life for men to see by. The saint is the man who walks through the dark paths of the world, himself a light." And isn't it great that we are both the hero and the saint? That we find the light within us, and every time we share that light, we are lighting the world up with our own brilliance, with our own divine expression. Only us, only I can do I, only you can do you. And you are each individually beautiful, radiant lights. And so I just breathe that in. I invite you to breathe that in with me. And I just feel called to know that light and that truth right here, if you join me in prayer. I just breathe in that light. I recognize right here and right now that power, that presence that moves and flows and has its way with absolutely everything, has its way in my life. I open myself up to receive this light, and I recognize its growth, its compassion, its love, its joy, filling absolutely every part of me as I deepen my sense of self. I let go right here and right now anything that does not serve the highest and best expression of that divine self. I know the truth of my being is right now empowered and infused by the thing that powers and infuses all things. And so I release and let go of the darkness. I deny and dissolve its expression within me. There is no dark within me. There is only light. And that light magnetically fortifies and attracts all that is good, all that is great, all that is magnificent into my life. I know that this year that is before me is filled with such divine expression. I grow, I evolve, I expand, and I share my light in this world. And I live it, I ignite it, right here, right now. And I give thanks for this power and presence. I give thanks for this eternal, infinite light that is my consciousness, that is within me. And I give thanks to that power and presence that speaks this truth through me right here and right now. In absolute gratitude and absolute thanksgiving for this season of light, of love, of community, I give thanks for all of this. And I simply let go. I let it be so, for it is the truth, as my breath is truth. And so it is.
So it is.
Blessed winter solstice.